Eating whole foods will produce better body composition and performance almost always, with very few exceptions. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today, but a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, be greatly appreciated. If you are not subscribed or following, please do so, and if you'll be kind enough to drop me a comment down below, I would greatly appreciate that also. So let's get over into the topic. All right, when we bring this topic up, people say, well, what about people who need the empty calories? So I want to state up front before we get into that, those are relatively rare individuals, okay? There really only are two individuals that really and truly fall into that category, okay? Because usually the only other ones, they're just trying to bulk too fast, right? They want to gain weight too quickly, and it's actually more quickly than they should to have the best body composition a year from now. Now, there's two exceptions, though, the empty calories. Number one, extreme endurance athletes, okay? I get it. You're running marathons regularly. You're running 40 to 50 miles a week, straight up running that, okay? And that time frame, it's hard for you to get food in. You can't get enough calories. To Whole Foods is a GI tract problem. Totally get it in your case. You're the exception. All right, the guys using extremely excessive amounts of anabolic drugs, they're also the exception. You guys get a pass on this, right? You don't need to eat the healthiest, cleanest in the world when you're trying to be a 300-pound monster and you're on 12 different drugs, okay? I totally get it. You're the exception to the rule also. All right, now that we got those out of the way, everyone else, you're going to do better. And here's why when we talk about body composition. Guys want to bulk too fast. And I'll say to most guys out there, you probably need to almost never bulk. Okay? Considering that you can recomp at a given body weight, this is not really a big issue. Or if you do gain weight, you can maximize muscle growth. The research shows there's 100 or less extra calories a day. Okay, so you guys, you go from maintenance calories to adding an extra 100 calories. I promise you, you can find 100 calories of peanut butter or brown rice. Not a problem from whatever you're eating. Let's just be realistic about this. So we have to understand this from a satiety perspective, a thermic effect. Everyone is going to lose fat easier on all whole foods. Okay, the whole flexible dieting, well, if it's your macros, yeah, but you're going to have different calories with whole foods. Number one. Number two, no, you don't need any of that stuff. You've been conditioned to believe you need it. The truth is, most people are still going to be better without it. When you just don't eat junk and you eat just whole, healthy foods, you eventually lose cravings for the junk food. So again, the people who are trying to fit stuff in, you are shortchanging your results in a lot of ways. You're still going to get better results if you just avoid that completely and go with the whole foods. And by whole foods, I mean single ingredient foods. I'm not talking about something, the store whole foods. We're not talking about, you buying healthy tea. I'm talking about foods. I'll go down a whole list. What do I mean by whole foods? For protein sources, generally leaner meats, right? Really fatty meats, I'm still not going to truly count as a true whole food because you're picking the fattest cuts of the animal, usually extremely fattened out animals, instead of just the leaner cuts. And I'm not saying you can't have a little bit of fatty meat, but you need to be reasonable, guys. So it's going to be steaks, chicken, lamb, right? Not to be super lean, but leaner cuts. Chicken breast, even chicken thighs, pull the skin and everything off. These count. These are whole foods as far as protein goes. Low-fat dairy is what I'm going to count, okay? Whether it's milk, yogurts, things like that, kefirs, low-fat to fat-free, those are going to be quality whole foods, because even if you're going to be eating a higher fat diet, saturated fats are not your best choice for muscle mass or health or recovery or performance. They're suboptimal, right, from a fuel perspective. Eggs count. Eggs are absolutely count as a whole food, okay? So again, to people who are like, oh, you're hating on eggs, and no, notice I said you have dairy in there, right? Some reduced fat or low fat milk, sirloin steak, some eggs, right? For those of you who want a little more fat, salmon, right? Good choices. So what else do we mean by whole foods? Carbohydrates, potatoes, rice. To some extent, white rice can for people who have really high energy needs, right? Definitely brown rice counts. Oats, any fruit, any type of vegetable, okay? Any grain, any whole food starch, so any sort of tuber root vegetables, all this stuff. These are whole food carbohydrates. maybe whole wheat. So you could do a whole wheat pasta. Pushing it with whole wheat breads depending upon what's in it. We're getting into fairly processed though at that point. It's going to be hard pressed to really count bread as a whole food. All right, in a pinch, if it has minimal ingredients, it's semi. All right, fats, very easy here, guys. Nuts, seeds, nut butter, so natural peanut butter, natural almond butter, anything that's not been hydrogenated, nothing with trans fats added, all these quality plant fats. Even though we could make a case for certain types of oils, they're not always going to be whole foods. Maybe I'll count extra virgin olive oil. Okay. Things like canola oil, vegetable oils, probably not. No, they're really not. They're not whole foods. Even though they might have some nutritional value, we're not in the whole food territory here. But peanut butters, almond butters, any sorts of nuts or seeds, avocados, olives, these are your whole food fats. Okay, very straightforward. Now, you eat this way, you're going to recover better. So what I mean is better body composition. You're going to have higher thermic effects. You're going to have better insulin sensitivity. You're going to have better nutrient partitioning in general. You're going to gain fat. Going to be far more difficult to gain body fat. Okay, your energy turnover is going to be higher, right? And if you need more calories, like I can't get enough calories, well, switch to white rice or add healthy fats. Right? Someone who's struggling to get more calories in general, healthy fats will usually resolve this. Hey, you're still eating clean whole foods. You're still going to have less fat storage potential. All right, so what else is going on with this? Better recovery. Straight up, better inflammation, better insulin sensitivity, more antioxidant status, right? This is what you want, right? This is what you want. You're going to simply recover better. You're going to recover faster. You're going to be able to train harder, train more often. You're going to gain muscle easier. You're going to feel better. Your health is going to be better if you eat this way. Again, the only downsides, certain foods may be an inflammation, not a true inflammation issue. Let me rephrase that. They could be some intolerances in your gut because maybe you can't handle that much fiber yet. Or maybe you have a food intolerance or something. By all means, and cut it out. This is not a problem. Obviously, if it's a problem, don't eat it. Okay, if something just bloats the hell out of you, don't eat it. Very simple, skip it. Okay. But this will work. You're going to be a lot better off. Your gains are going to be better. And again, people who are like, well, I need to force more calories. No, you don't. There's no reason for any of you to be gaining more than 1 pound a month. Barring heavy anabolic use or an extremely underweight, truly skinny, emaciated novice. Someone coming back from a muscle wasting disease and they've been given anabolic drugs to help with it. All right, makes sense. Everyone else, no. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.